Hey sixth graders, today's lesson is 15-2, which is patterns and equations. So now we're taking our equations that we've been solving the last couple days, and instead we're going to be looking at some XY charts, some t-tables, and figuring out what the pattern is, and also we're going to be writing our own equations for these. This is going to be a 2-day lesson. We are going to be doing 15-2, which is talking about patterns and equations, and then 15-3 goes along with it, and they're just talking about more patterns and equations. So we'll be doing that one next Monday on our distance learning day. Now with 15-2, we have a couple steps. Our first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be examining a chart. All of our charts are going to be horizontal T charts or XY charts that are going to look like this. We have our X column going across and our Y column going across. Step 2, we are going to figure out what's kind of happening and what the pattern is, and we're going to write, I forgot to write pattern, sorry guys, and then we're going to write out a rule. After that, we're going to write an equation and then fill in the rest of the chart. So as we're going through these ones, our method is going to be examine, write rule, write equation, fill in. So we're going to look at a couple different examples here. Here is our first one. So our first step is that we're just going to take a look at this chart. We're going to examine the chart and really figure out where the pattern is going to be. Now, all of these problems are going to be dealing with some negative numbers as well. Now, I know some people can definitely get their mind around the negative numbers. Others can't right away. You guys, you can look anywhere across your XY chart to figure out what that rule is going to be or what is happening. So oftentimes, I know a lot of people that will start with your positive numbers where they're both positive and think, okay, how do we get from there to there? Okay, how do we get from there to there, there to there? You guys, there's going to be a variety of operations. So we're going to be doing some adding, some subtracting, and multiplying, dividing. But we need to figure out what the rule is. So in this one, I'm going to be starting with my 3 to 5. So I know that, okay, I added 2 to get to 5. Oh, 6 plus 2 is 8. Hey, let's try that with another one. How about -3 plus 2? Yep, -1. So here, our rule is going to be to add 2. We can also write that as just a +2. So that is our rule. That's the first thing that we need to find. Next, we're going to be writing an equation. Now, for our equation, we have to have a couple different things. Now, for equation, we need to have a variable, at least one. We need to have an operation. Most are going to have a number. And with these ones, you guys, since they are equations, we're also going to be having an equal sign. So those are the things that we're going to be looking for when we're creating our equation. So these ones, we're going to think about our book here, or like we're reading a book and going from X to Y. So for our equation, it would be X plus 2, okay, so whatever we have for our X plus 2 is going to equal Y. Now with commutative property, we can also write that as Y equals X plus 2. Either option is going to be fine there, whether we start with our X or start with our Y. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we are working from top down. So what I do not want to see is Y minus 2 equals X. Okay, we're working from X to Y, or top to bottom. But you can switch if you have that equals Y at the front or at the beginning. Or sorry, front or at the end. Man, it's a Thursday, I can't talk today. And then our last step is to fill in the rest of the chart. So following our rule or our equation, we have 15, we have to add 2. We're going to have 17. 20 plus 2, 22. So we examined, we found the rule, which is adding 2. We created our equation, and then we filled in the rest. Those are all of the steps for that problem. Okay, on to our next example. Same thing, going from X to Y. Now in this one, after we do some examining and figuring out what's happening, our rule, what is happening, we are dividing by 3. Check to make sure that it works. -6 divided by 3, yep, -2. -3 divided by 3, yep, -1. And we can work our way through there. Next, we're going to write our equation. Our equation would be, starting with our x divided by 3 equals y. Or we can switch our order here and have our y equals x divided by 3. Now you guys remember we have other ways that we can write division, so we could also write it as x over 3 equals y, or y equals x over 3. So your choice on how you want to write that one. And then our last part, we need to fill in the rest of our charts. We know that we're dividing by 3. So 30 divided by 3 is 10, 36 divided by 3 is 12, and 39 divided by 3 is 13. There's our last example. Okay, on to our last example. This one, we're going to examine, we're going to see what's happening from one thing to the next. And after examining all of those different x's, x and y's, this one, you guys were multiplying by 3 times 3 to go from our x to our y. So we can write that as x times 3 equals y. Now, you guys, the best way to write this for our multiplication would be coefficient then variable equals y. So this right here is our ideal way to write it. Now, this isn't wrong, but this is going to be a more correct format. We can also change our order and have that y equals 3x. We have our rule, we have our equation. Now we need to fill in the rest. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 times 3 is 24. These are just 3 examples of what you might see on your assignment. Each part of your assignment is going to have 3 parts. You're going to write the rule, you're going to write the equation, and then you're going to fill in that chart. You guys, today we're going on the second page of the packet, and you are going to do 15-2, both sides, the practice and the reteach side. All right, thank you.